Alright guys, welcome back to our monster building series in Monster Sanctuary. Today we're going to show off a debuff build for level 30 and above, where we're building up a stupid amount of debuffs and doing a stupid amount of damage passively. It's really good fun and it's really easy to do. And I'm also going to give you two variants, so one that's a little bit more defensive and one that's just super debuff heavy and for the memes a bit. So first up, we need a tank, and that is the Goblin Pilot. So the Goblin Pilot is a champion monster, which can be found in the Mystical Workshop. And once you've beaten him there or in the tower and got his egg, you're away and you've got a Goblin Pilot. Now what our debuff team completely revolves around is this little skill down here, Dominance, where any debuff increases damage by 3% for every debuff on the enemy monster. So we've got to take that. But primarily, what Goblin Pilot is there to do is to smash shield over all of our monsters. So what we're doing is we're taking the second column, getting all the way down here to Fire Shield, which is going to shield proportionate to our defense and our magic, and apply Burn. Because it's proportionate to our defense and our magic, obviously we're taking any defense buffs, and we're also looking at gaining charge stacks, because we're not going to be doing damage in our turns with the Goblin Pilot, so it's going to gain 5 charge stacks, which increase the damage that it will do if it ever does attack. Preemptive Shield over in the first column is also very useful to add extra shield to the party. As for fun is Volatile Shield, which when we come to attack, we'll lose half of our current shield, but we'll do 175% of that as damage. And so to help with the magic part of the Fire Shield, we're also taking Supercharged over on this fourth column, where if we have 15 or more charge stacks, our magic is increased by 100% of our attack, which means we'll be shielding much more once we're at 15 stacks, which is sort of 3 rounds maybe. Other than that, we're going to take Wildfire to look at spreading burn if we're fighting alchemists or a number of monsters at one time. And we're going to add to the fun with Fuel, where whenever an enemy takes burn damage, each monster is going to gain a charge stack in our party. So here we're really about shielding our monsters and buffing the amount of damage they're going to do. Now next, I'm going to go to our damage dealer, which is the debuff friendly Fungi. And this is straightforward, dead simple. Fungi again comes with Dominance, but he's got 2 of them, one in the right hand column and one in the left hand column, so that's an extra 6%, so up to 9% per debuff on an enemy. And Fungi also comes with multi-poison and multi-weakness, so that'll let us get 3 charge of poison and 3 charges of weakness on the enemy. Alongside that, we're just going to take the Spore and the Poison damaging abilities, and we're going to try and make him a bit more tanky by taking all the defense, all the magic, and all the health that we can in both of those 2 columns. It's a pretty straightforward build. Now, our third of the 4 monsters is the slightly tankier version of this build I'm going with, where we're running Lava Blob. And what Lava Blob comes with, again, is Dominance, and an additional Wildfire similar to the Goblin Pilot, so we're going to be spreading burn everywhere when we're fighting multiple monsters. And we've also got multi-burn. You can see where we're going with this. So this will really complement the Goblin Pilot very well. Every time he's applying burn, it's going to spread, and we've got multiple charges of burn that we get up on there. Plus, we're firing out the weakness and the poison from Fungi. Going to stack a huge number of debuffs, and that's going to do a large amount of additional damage for every hit that we create. Alongside that, we're supporting it with the Encapsulate from the 4th column of the skill tree. So whilst we're applying burn, we're also healing and adding additional shields to all the monsters in our party where we can. Now alternatively, if you don't want to be boring and tanky and you want to be a little bit more squishy but with more debuffs, rather than Lava Blob, you can take Shockhopper. Now you can obtain a Shockhopper by picking up a Dodo Egg from Horizon Beach and then dropping it off with the Cryomancer, Snowy Peaks. Now again, Shockhopper comes with Dominance. It also has Multi-Shock and Multi-Chill. Along with this, the Shockhopper can also apply weakness to a whole host of enemies through Sonic Wave in the first channel, and has Mass Restore and Debuff Removal to really help support your monsters in the 4th channel of the skills, alongside also applying Shock. And skills where you can apply additional damage if the target is already shocked. So rather than synergizing with the Goblin Pilot, like the Lava Blob did, this Shockhopper is really synergizing well with the Fungi. So a quick run through of the equipment. Goblin Pilot's hugely defense heavy, so we've got Morning Star for offense, and then defense and mana regen through the accessories. Lava Blob's all about more mana regen as well, so we're taking the Orb. So again, defense and mana regen for the lava blob and assisting the shields. Fungi is where all the fun's at. So again, we're maxing out as much magic as we can, but also taking a bit of defense because the fungi is quite squishy. Similarly with the shock hopper, we're all about the magic damage, but we need to add a bit of defense in there because, as I said, this is slightly squishy build, so our shock hopper can be a bit squishy without any defense. So that's the team. Let me know if you'd use anything similar and how you get on with it in the comments down below. But I'll show you now how it works. So first we're going to fire shield with the goblin pilot. And already from how we've started, the enemy's already got 3 burn debuffs on him. We want more shield, so we're going to go with encapsulate again, even though the healing's not going to do anything. Protect the fungi. And then it's up to fungi to start applying the poison debuffs. Look at those debuffs go. So as you can see, after 1 round we've taken a bit of damage. We're just going to repeat the process and keep applying the debuffs. We're also going to use Spore on fungi to apply weakness as well. And very quickly we can get to 9 debuffs on the boss, which with each of those dominances, we've got 4 dominance. We've got 4 dominance skills on our monsters, and we've got 9 debuffs. So that means every attack is doing an extra 108% damage. And with that, we'll just survive, we'll let the debuffs do their work, and we will rinse through any monsters in the later stage of the game. And like that, with all the burns, he's dead. Alternatively, if you can use Shock Hopper, you're going to apply Sonic Wave, which adds weakness, which decreases the amount of damage that the enemy does. And then once we've applied maximum weakness, we'll also move on to Shock and Freeze. And now with this build, this gives you a few more debuffs. Even further if you get the full Cold and Chill setup run. But here we're stacking 11 debuffs, which again at 12% extra damage per debuff is like some damage. 130 something percent damage extra each attack. Maths. And there you have it, guys. We burned through some enemies late in the storyline. So, thank you very much for watching. Let me know anything you'd like to see in the comments below, what you think about it. Always happy to hear what everybody thinks, and glad these are so popular as well. It's great fun. And I'll be back with another video soon. So I'll catch you in a bit, guys. Enjoy Monster Sanctuary.